All right, good afternoon, folks. We are here to tell you about what is going on in Russia and to show you what's going on in Russia. You see, the Russians have been building up forces along the Baltic, the western border of Russia and the western border of Belarus. Russia and Belarus are now both the same uh, military district. So when you talk about the Russian military, Belarus is Russian military. North Korea is Russian military. All of these groups that are part of BRICS are basically the same as like NATO. So you can look at BRICS just like the Russian version of NATO. And so these countries have signed a defense pact with Russia, all for one and one for all. And what we've been doing is watching the Russian buildup along the Baltics. And here at KLW World News, we've been watching that Russian buildup along the Baltics for years. And in the last year, it has grown dramatically. Now, some of you will remember here a few months ago, the Ukrainians attacked some air bases using drones hidden in trucks. And those drones that were hidden in trucks attacked the air base that you see before you. This is Olenya Air Base in northern Russia. And I can get a map up here and show you guys exactly where this is in Russia. Let me do it this way so that you guys can see it. Let me open up a file here. And we want Mother Russia right here. Racer, can you see the warning there? Can you see the warning on the YouTube page? See that? So what we have is we're going to go to the airfield that we're about to fly here. It's up here. So what the Russians have done is, and the image that you saw was just taken this morning, the taken September 12th at 9:45 a.m. This is a little older than that. But you've got bombers that were hit and destroyed, so they've been removed. We haven't removed them from our model yet, not all of them anyway. And this lineup has changed since we worked on our model. We have an AN-12 sitting down here. We've got TU-160s, TU-22Ms, and the 22M, that's what these are. These are TU-22Ms, and this is that's a 22M as well. I don't have a TU-160 in this picture, but the TU-160s are here as well. So, uh, the issue is they've now moved some TU-160s into here. That's the new Swan bomber. It's a supersonic bomber. Putin flew one here about a month or so ago. No, Fifth Survivor, I can't keep posting on YouTube because YouTube doesn't pay me, and YouTube takes down my content. I'm here to tell you about what's going on so you can come to Rumble and watch it. Why would I want to broadcast on a platform that gives me copyright strikes for my own voice and has demonetized me? I don't make a penny for being here. I'm doing this as a public service announcement. So all of you guys should be on our Rumble channel. And I'm going to give you guys a link to that so that you can go over there, sign up. It's free. And Fifth Survivor, I've had 15 million views on Rumble. So with 15 million views on Rumble, you've got a setting off or something on your end. So anyway, yeah, I know you're on Rumble, but I'm just telling you, it should be just as easy to watch me on Rumble as it is here. If not, you need to send a ticket to support at rumble.com and tell them about it. So the point is that this military base, and what I'll do is I'll turn it like this so that it looks the same to you. This military base is being built up with bombers. And the interesting part about it is these bombers aren't made for bombing land. You can bomb land with them, but that's not what they're made for. These are Tu-22Ms. The M stands for Marine because these bombers, and you can see they're covered with tires here to try to hide them from the AI, like that really works. These bombers are made for attacking ships. That's why they have the M variant. And the way that you can tell is that there are two colors. They're gray and white. And that's the purpose of these planes is so is that they can attack NATO ships. Literally, that's why they were built, is to attack NATO ships. And so this base is filling up with these bombers. So here is what it looks like here. And this is what it looks like today. This was this morning at 9:45 a.m., September the 12th, 2025. This is that base. All of these bombers are still here. They got bombers here, bombers here, bombers here. So what Razor? I have no idea. Well, they're still taking it, right? Are you watching it on YouTube? Is it dropping in and out for you guys on YouTube, or is the stream good for those of you there? I can't believe there's only 80 people in here. That's insane. All right, everybody says it's good. All right. Wait, do what? Okay. All right. So the issue is that they're continuing to build up on this base. They have moved in 2 more Tu-160s into this base, and the fact that they've got 2 more coming. And here's a Bear bomber. It's going to be there in our video. But anyway, some of you will remember this air base was attacked by drones, and they took out some aircraft here. They didn't go into hitting the Tu-160s. Now, somebody came to me and said, Lee, these bombers up here at the north end of the airfield, because this is actually supposed to be this way, if you want to be honest about it. They said that because these doors were open on the tops of these bombers, that these bombers were out of service. They'd taken the engines out of them and they were no good. That's not true. The doors are open on the tops of these bombers because where this is, there's water all around it. And it's a very humid facility. And what happens is if you don't open up these doors, the insides of these aircraft, they fill up with moisture. They get condensation and water pooling on the inside of them. So the ones that aren't being used regularly, they have the doors open on them. And you can see that all the way around here. The ones that they are using regularly, they keep the doors shut on. It's only the ones that are in longer term storage that are the ones that they're opening the doors on. So what we're going to do is KLW World News has paid to have this airfield modeled in 3D. So we're going to fly through it in our 3D flight simulator to show you all of the equipment that's here, all of the bomber aircraft. Now, when all of this bomber aircraft flies to the west, out into the Baltic, the North Sea, or down to the south here into the Baltic, which is just down here. Okay, when they fly down here, they need fighter escort. Well, they have that. That's at this air base, just 12 miles away. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fly the airfield that's to the north, and we're going to come down and fly this airfield, and we're going to show you all of the fighters that are down here too. So we're doing this as a public service announcement and to let you know that you need to go to KLW World News and sign up. Over there, we're going to be doing premium content. It is only $10 a month, and it gets you all of our premium content, gets you notifications, and gets you access to 100% commercial-free broadcasts on Rumble. So we are now going to jump over into the flight sim, and we're going to show it to you. And that would be right here. So this is the airfield. Pay no attention to the checkers there. That is a texture that didn't load properly. So let's go out and have a look around first. And then we'll come back and show the whole place to you. So we're in an MH-60. This is a U.S. Navy helicopter. It's got 8 Hellfire missiles on it. By the way, we can fire those missiles, and it makes holes in the ground and curls smoke out and so on and so forth. So maybe to show you that. We can also fly with a glass cockpit here to show you where we're going and what we're doing here. So we have a guy who's our programmer. His name is Steve, and he actually loads all of this up for us. He puts the aircraft in, puts the towers, everything into the model here, including the buildings, the microwave. So these are Tu-95 Bear bombers that you're seeing right here on the left. Now, the issue is these two aren't here anymore. When the Ukrainians attacked, they blew them up. In fact, what I'll do is I'll come around here behind these two. You'll notice the trees are turning because we have an app that does that for us. So this is the angle that the drones came in when they came in and hit the facility. So it's an IL-76 on the taxiway there, straight off the nose of the helicopter. The Tu-95 Bear right here, which is the counter-rotating propeller. It's the loudest airplane in the world, by the way. And this is the Swan, this white aerodynamic looking thing here. That's the new bomber that the Russians have that Putin actually came here and flew. We have another Tu-95, another IL-76. And then this is a Tu-22M. Now, I get down here low so you guys can see this. Tu-22Ms, the way you can tell it's an M variant, is the bottom is white and the top is gray. And so that way, if you're under it looking up, it matches the clouds, and if you're above it looking down, well, because it's gray, it matches the water better. That's what's going to attack NATO ships in the Baltic. It's an AN-12, an Antonov 12 transport aircraft. And then up here, we have an Mi-8. Now, how can we tell that this is an Mi-8 and not an Mi-17? Somebody cue that Jeopardy music. We're going to go around and see the rest. Of the Tu-22Ms. And there's a large collection of these bombers here. As you can see, they're all lined up here on the tarmac. We've got Mi-17s in the middle there, Mi-8s and an Mi-17 there to the left, more AN-12s here to the left, Tu-95, it's called a Bear, by the way, and we have more Tupolev Tu-22Ms. And they continue on up through here. There's several up here to the right, the revetments there. I guess tired of the BS, woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. So here are more of these Tu-95s. This place is full of them. In fact, this is the largest collection of Tu-95M bombers in the world. Now, my question is, if they're not planning on using them in the West, by the way, ZAPAD 25 is taking place right now. If they're not planning on using them in the West, why did they move them over here up against the Baltics? That should be a good question for everybody. You're not going to use them. Now, see here, this one right here, that's not a Tu-95M. Or should be a TU or SU-22. Or it should be Tu-22. It's not a Tu-20. That is a Tu-22, not a Tu-22M. The way we know it's not the M variant, which is made for Marine. That's what M stands for. It's because it's a solid gray. Ones with the white bottoms are the M variant. That's what you're seeing here to the left and to the right. The one in front of me is just a standard Tu-22. Howdy. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly now to the other airfield. And we're going to go take a look at it. So it shouldn't take too long to get there. Do a little nap of the earth flying on the way. All right, Kevin, stay out of trouble. By the way, the drones that were launched against this airfield by the Ukrainians were launched from right over here on the right. There's a gas station over there. In fact, let me swing over there and show you. I'm actually the one that found the gas station. And the reason the drones were low on battery when they got over to the airfield was because of how far they had to fly. They had to fly all the way across this lake here. So the drones were launched from a gas station. And so after hours of looking at maps and street views and all kinds of other things, I was actually able to identify the gas station that the drones were launched from. And I'm going from memory right now because I don't have the GPS coordinates in my head. And here we have it. Let me look here a second. Right there it is. Here's the gas station that the drones were actually launched from. And the drones were launched, if you remember the video, the drones were launched from a gravel parking lot on the side of the road. Well, guess what? Right here is that gravel parking lot. Right there. And they launched across that way. That's how they carried out the attack on the airfield. So they had them parked there. The side of the bed you got up on is private. Well, I'm just wondering why you got such a bad attitude in my chat. It's the only question I got. I'm coming here for free to educate you guys, and you got an attitude. And you can rest assured you're not any more tired of the BS than I am. Not well. BS, not well. Snakes got into my bunny barn and killed several of my rabbits. Worst part about it is they couldn't even eat them. The bunnies are so big, but the snakes still killed them. So I've been snake hunting. Ride down here to this next airfield. I'll show you guys what it looks like here. It's not far, and it doesn't take long at 200 kilometers an hour. It's only 12 miles. Excuse me, 180 kilometers. So this is the airfield coming up here where the fighters are. Now they've installed electronic warfare, jamming, tracking radars, long-range radars. Place is full of stuff. Electronic warfare is coming up here on the right. Radars are up here on the right. Long-range radars, tactical radars. There's electronic warfare. We're getting ready to buzz that tower in this vehicle. Here's the long-range radars. People will say, you can't do that with that helicopter. The hell you can. Ask any special operations pilot. So here are the short-range radars. Over here are the tactical radars and the weather radars. So this base is prepared to fight. That's why they've got dual radio systems, radar systems, weather systems. Now, as far as ammunition and stuff, take a look at this. They are stockpiling all of these bunkers over here full of missiles and bombs. If you're not planning on going to war, why are you doing that? They don't need all of this for an exercise. All of these hangars over here are being filled. Normally an airbase has as many aircraft as you do hangars. It's not good to leave aircraft outside because they're in the elements. So the Russians, they put aircraft outside when they don't have room to put aircraft inside. Well, here's a prime example of that. That's why they have these MiGs sitting out here. They've got more of them here and here. In fact, there's MiGs all over the place. In fact, they got a lineup of them over here. More MiGs here. More MiGs there. Here a MiG, there a MiG, everywhere a MiG. All right, I see how you are. So I'm not worth $10 to you. I see how you are. What a guy. Yes, all of the drones that were sent into Poland were surveillance drones, with the exception of two. They had warheads on them. They could claim that they were accidents. If they had all had warheads, well, then you could have said it was an attack. But the Lavrov lied and said, "Oh, well, they can't fly that far because of the fuel on board." Well, they took the explosives out and filled them with fuel. They put in an extra gas tank. Well, that's so they could fly farther into Poland and do surveillance. They actually used the Polish telephone network to fly the drones. We'll talk more about that on Rumble. And I've got a bunch of these maps of these bases, and we're going to do more of those on Rumble. But I came over here to show you guys what we're doing on Rumble and to show you the level of detail we have went to show you guys, or the level of effort. These are all these maps are made. What you're seeing here, we had put together for you. And this is all based on satellite imagery, the most recent satellite imagery. In fact, the image I was showing you a while ago was taken at 9:45 a.m. this morning. So it doesn't get any more fresh than that. So, more MiGs, another helicopter. Now, if you'll remember, on October 7th, Hamas attacked Israel with ultralights. We've said for years that Russia the ports is the Hamas terrorists. Gee, there's 3 ultralights. I wonder where Hamas got that idea from. Oh, and did you know that Hamas is in Venezuela now? Yeah. So we're going to peruse around here a little more. Again, if you haven't joined us on Rumble, you need to. It's free to start with. The link is at the top of the chat. If you want to get our premium content, then it's $10 a month. Plus, it gets you notified anytime we're going live over there. Here's the FBO, otherwise known as the Fixed Base Operator. More MiGs. Now, should I do an attack run down through here and blow up some of these buildings? What do you think, Racer? Should I blow some shit up? Okay, let's do it. Turn the weapon sight on. For some reason, I got a double pull. Oh, I know why. I reprogrammed my trigger, so I fired 2 at a time. Well, let's go back and see if we blew anything up. Fuel can be replaced. Jets can't. If you have a choice between hit fuel and jets, hit jets. Oh, looks good. Well, we head over next to the radars, hit some bunkers. And some bunkers. I love when the smoke curls out of bunkers. So, there we go. All right, folks, if you need more, want more, you can get more. Just come over to Rumble. Link is at the top of the chat. Tired of the BS? What do you mean, have I done any coverage on Charlie Kirk? I have been covering Charlie Kirk 24 hours a day for the last 3 days. You are obviously not watching me on Rumble. This is the first broadcast I've done that isn't about Charlie Kirk in the last 72 hours. We've been covering Charlie Kirk since a half an hour after he got shot. All right, folks, that is going to do it for this one. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on Rumble. Link is at the top of the chat. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you there. Where's that damn pig?
That's all, folks.